Just received a bit of information. The Connecticut National Guard tells us that one of their members was on board that plane this morning. This person was injured and is being treated at Hartford Hospital.
Which is some good news there.
It is some good news. So our thoughts and prayers are with the Connecticut National Guard.
One of the 13 people on board this airplane, 3 crew members, 10 people who had paid for the experience to go up in this B-17 this morning. This is footage from the air shortly after the crash happened. That foam right there, that's that chemical, that PFAS that we've talked about for a long, long time now, that they use to put out fires. And in this case, you can see some of that is right there.
It is a known carcinogen, and that's why the health department has warned people who live near the Farmington River not to go near the river banks if they see foam there.
Also, 5 people we now know have passed away in this crash. There was one individual on the ground working at that maintenance facility. We have that confirmed. However, at this point, we do not know the identity of any of the 5 people who were killed in this incident.
And one more point to add to that, we are aware that 2 Simsbury volunteer firefighters were on board that plane this morning, and we have not heard anything yet on their conditions. We'll keep you updated on that.
Now, Channel 3's Dennis House and Aaron Connolly, they are leading off our coverage right now. They're live at the airport with some more information that's just breaking right now.
Denise and Mark, good evening to you. The crash scene is just over our shoulders. If you're familiar with Bradley Airport, it's near the International Arrivals Building, the Customs Building, which may be closed right now because I just noticed that an Aer Lingus jet just touched down and it's going to another part of the airport. So perhaps they've closed this terminal, Aaron, just because of the proximity to the crash scene.
Yeah, if you can see that letter A right there, that is the tail of this plane. All of this really happening in minutes. It took off at 9:45 on runway 6. 9:50 is when it called back to the control tower saying they were having some issues. People who were on the scene really noticed it struggling in the air, and of course at 9:54 is when it crashed. For much more on exactly what happened, let's head out to Patricia Del Rio. She is live for us at the Sheraton right next to Bradley Airport. Patricia.
Yes, good evening. We are at the ballroom of the Sheraton here at Bradley International Airport, where earlier this afternoon officials updated the press about some of the details that they knew at that time with respect to the crash. We are awaiting another news conference here. We're told it is to be around 5 o'clock or so, but it is not precise the time. Let's tell you what we did learn from officials earlier today. Governor Ned Lamont was here, as well as Senator Blumenthal and Commissioner Ravella from the state police, all giving various details that this plane took off at 9:45 this morning. This is a B-17 bomber. This is a 75-year-old World War II plane that was here as part of an exhibit by the Collins Foundation. There actually is a B-25 bomber and other planes that were here that people can pay to go up and take a ride on. There were 10 people who were paying customers to be on this plane, and there were 3 crew members. 9:45 it took off. 5 minutes into the flight, apparently they realized they were losing altitude, began circling back toward the airport, and then crashed. So within 9 minutes of taking off, the plane crashed into a maintenance and de-icing facility that was on the ground. Apparently there was someone in the maintenance facility at the time of the crash. That person is injured. As we've mentioned, 5 people were killed in this crash. We do not have the names and identities of any of the people. It is not clear precisely who we had mentioned in earlier, if you were just listening, that some of them were Simsbury firefighters and somebody a member of the Connecticut National Guard. But we don't know the details on who is who precisely, and we are hoping that that is going to be one of the things that we are going to learn at this next news conference. In the meanwhile, Governor Lamont, who was here speaking, was quite emotional when talking about the victims.
And we feel our hearts are broken for you right now. We're doing everything we can. We've got an amazing group of people who are going to get to the bottom of this as soon as we can. And you're in our prayers.
So we know that the National Transportation Safety Board is here, the FBI. They're all trying to reconstruct this and pick through the wreckage and try to figure out what happened. We do this while we await the next press conference. Live at the Sheraton, I'm Patricia Del Rio, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Patricia, thank you. I think you